Warrant. I want to join Skid Row. We can call it Skinnerd Row. Is that cool? Go a little southern. So I chased Van Halen in the clubs with Lars Ulrich from Metallica. We went to the Starwood once because we heard Van Halen was going to be playing. And this is way before Metallica, okay?
This was a giveaway, and they made a crate guitar.
I don't remember the guitars.
Of one, dude.
Oh, okay. Me, Lukather, Tommy Lee, and Sterling Ball.
Walk into a bar, go on, finish the story.
I can't finish it.
Okay. Hey everybody, it is Derek over at Masters of Shred, and we're bringing it to you with a very, very special episode of Pages in Time like you're not going to believe. But before we go there, I need you to do me a favor. Shred the notification bell, drop a comment, like this video, share it with your friends. It's the easiest way to support the Masters of Shred channel without ever having to open your wallet. But if you do want to open your wallet, we have a lot of incredible options for you at the end of this video that you're going to want to stay tuned for. Now, before I introduce this guest, and before I go back on this year, this epic year we're going to cover in pop culture with this magazine, I want to introduce and welcome our official sponsor of this video, who is no stranger to Shred. They created the first ever speaker emulator device called the Red Box that is still held to a huge degree in the music industry. I'm talking about the German Lords of Tone, Hughes and Kettner. That's right, Hughes and Kettner, which you are very familiar with, has sponsored this video, and we are going to be giving away 3 Hughes and Kettner amps. That's right, 3 at the end of this video. So do yourself a favor, stick around so you can learn about all the giveaway details on that. Now with that said, let me introduce to you folks today's special guest. He is no stranger to our platform. We did Talking Shred a couple years ago. We went back to all the songs in the first 2 Warrant albums, and we learned who played the solos. He is one half of the Shred tag team supreme that is known as Warrant. Give it up for the mighty Joey Allen.
What's happening? Well, that was huge.
All right, I'm done. All right, that's
mighty.
So great. Oh, we're good. Oh, that was good,
I've
right?
never been called a mighty. Is it my size?
Oh, well, it's really the riffage. It's maybe a little bit of size, but it's about the riffage, right?
Right on.
Whew, thank you for doing this.
Good to
I
see you,
appreciate
man.
it. Good to see you, dude. It's
Fantastic.
been a while, right?
Yeah, it has been. I think last time was down in Florida, right?
Yeah, it was Pompano Beach,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I recorded your sound check, and it wasn't really recording.
Yeah.
I learned that when I took the footage over to Starbucks afterwards.
What are you going to do?
These are the things you don't hear about to make this show happen, folks, okay? But guess what? We're recording right now, so this is going to happen. So, yeah, thank you again for doing this. We've done a lot of really fun episodes, and I've been wanting to get you on here. And I found out you're in town. We're in Kentucky, by the way, at the Performing Arts Center out here.
Yeah.
And you are on tour with Firehouse for this date.
Yeah. We got a few dates with Firehouse. We've been doing a few dates with Bullet Boys, Lita Ford, so all over the nation, man.
Happy I could catch it. So
Yeah.
It's not too far from Nashville.
We're still breathing,
either.
baby. Come on out.
That's right. And you guys deliver one hell of a show, too. So you guys will see a little bit of that because I'm going to catch some footage tonight. So anyway, let me go paint the picture here of where we're going to go back to. Okay, guys? Get a show on the road, the year in pop culture. I'm talking about 1991. What happened? Well, the Addams Family and Home Improvement redefined the family dynamic in America. And then on top of that, we know that Michael Jordan with the Bulls achieved their first NBA championship, but it would be one of many because they would go on to be one of the most successful dynasties in history. On top of that, we know that Skid Row put out Slave to the Grind, and Warrant dropped another single from their incredible album Cherry Pie that you may know called Uncle Tom's Cabin. One of the most underrated Warrant songs, I think. I mean, but there's a lot. Especially
It's a rocker. It's fun.
It is. But when we get to Dog Eat Dog as well, that whole album, all amazing. We're going to get to that. All right? So, folks, join us as we go back to August 1991, okay, for Guitar World Magazine. And this is going to be really special. So we're just going to hop right in. And let me just tell you the rules in case you're not familiar with how we do this.
All right.
Stories, articles, gear. Anything you see comes to mind, sparks a memory in there. Throw it out there, share it with us if you'd be so kind to do so.
Yeah, I'm seeing memories already.
All right, so what does this cover mean to you? Did you have this issue?
Look at those 2 sexy gentlemen. I did. I'm sure I've got it in my collection at home. But yeah, Scotty and Snake. We met them in 1989 when they were touring with Bon Jovi. We did some one-off gigs with them on the East Coast. And it would be Warrant and Skid Row, closing. And when I first met those guys, I dug the band so much. I'm like, look, I want to leave Warrant. I want to join Skid Row. We can call it Skinnerd Row. Is that cool? Go a little southern. but it
I
didn't
like
work.
that.
It didn't work.
Oh.
So here we are.
Sounds like when Zakk Wylde, I think he used, what was it? Was it Leonard Skinhead?
Yeah.
Was his tribute band to, I don't know if that aged too well, but it could have been.
It's a joke. I love these guys. They're really good friends. We did a tour with them about 4 or 5 years ago that was really successful, and so we bump into each other a lot, and we're old friends. So it's fantastic to see them. Great players. Scotty's a monster, and Dave's a monster. But
that is great.
Love them like brothers.
So we'll hop right in. We got a little bit of Nuno Bettencout. He interviewed Brian May in this episode.
That's fantastic.
Uncle Tom's Cabin is here, so we're
Wow,
about
Tabs,
that.
yeah.
Favorite song.
You got the King up
Yep.
in the corner, yeah.
Exclusive lesson because they did a 4 Unlawful Carnal Knowledge around this time. So he
Wow.
was showing you a lot of his licks from that,
Yeah.
which I think is, as we know, John Mayer's favorite Van Halen album.
Fantastic.
Gets a lot of slack if, most
Yeah,
people are
yeah.
Roth guys or Hagar.
Yeah, I
but
grew
it
up with
depends when
Dave.
you're born.
I
There
grew
you
up
go.
with Dave,
I grew up with
you know,
Hagar.
No
That's-
disrespect to anybody.
We'd still be friends. It's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Let's hop right into it. Oh, here we go. Billy Sheehan, no stranger to the platform.
Yes.
You guys know about this guy. He's been on it.
Lord of the bass.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, the Lord of the Bay. He had a lot of ads. He had so many ads, so many
Man,
articles. Back
love
then.
his playing on Dave's records and Mr. Big. Just incredible musician.
Really is a nice guy,
Hats
too.
off.
Earthwood strings, they're still here. Same.
Wow, old school.
Yeah.
The Ernie Ball, nice.
Same kind of stuff here.
Nice,
now we're going to
man.
get a little bit of a lesson here. We're going to table of contents it. He skids you not. Show us what
Nice.
we're going to get here. I love the puns. They would do a lot of puns in the contents. The table of contents.
Fantastic.
Ibanez Voyager.
Reb, I think Reb Beach.
Red Beach. That's what you
Another
think of,
good
right?
friend. Yeah. Another shredder.
That's a killer guitar too.
That's a killer guitar, man. He did a lot on that guitar.
Oh yeah, and they're hard to come by. And that's worth
yeah.
a lot too. The Koa.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a few of them, right?
I don't know if he has
was that
many
his
left.
signature model?
Yep,
Yeah,
sure
look
was.
at
The
that
RBM.
thing. Yeah, that thing rocks.
I scored one in teal in Chicago before the meltdown in 2020.
Wow.
Got it for $500.
Wow, that's a steal.
Good friend sold
That's
it.
a
He was a
steal.
great guy, and I still have it. And he signed it. Actually, Reb got it in
that's
'99.
nice. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Look at that thing. That thing's a weapon, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they're monstrous guitars.
that's
the necks are
kick-ass.
thin.
Kick ass.
So we got a little bit of the toe necks from Chandler.
Okay.
Chandler was doing all sorts of stuff back then. They're making guitars,
Yep.
all that kind of good stuff. We got some Peavey love. Peavey was prevalent.
Yeah.
They're still kicking, but
When I first started in a cover band early on, the other guitar player had a VT Classic.
oh really?
Yeah, way back when he put it up on a 412, and away we went.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, a lot
guys,
of fun.
Those guys know it. And you got here some SansAmp love.
SansAmp.
They're
First
still
thing
doing
I
it.
think of is Geddy Lee when I think of SansAmp because
Really?
his rig. Yeah, I got to go backstage and watch a sound check one time with those guys, and he just had a rack full of SansAmp, and it sounds incredible.
No
and then
kidding.
washers. I think he had it was the Snakes and Arrows tour maybe, and they had the chicken oven behind him.
Dude, okay, you know what some of those amps were though for Alex Lifeson, our sponsor, Hughes Kettner.
Yeah. The signature model back in the day. That's why I was there.
That's why you were there.
So,
That's right.
I've got
Hughes
a
and
lot
Kettner
of
artist.
history. Yes.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
very cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just did an amp for Marty Friedman, a pedal for him.
Fantastic.
Full pedal amp that just
Fantastic.
dropped. You got some love here from Seymour Duncan, and they tell you about their artists. If you
Nice.
like rock, you'll be happy because we got Jakey Lee, we got Mike
Jake.
Sweda, Vivian Campbell, and George Lynch. First guys they name right off
Yeah.
the bat. You
Yeah,
know?
all friends.
Yep, that's true.
Crazy, man. It's a small world after all.
Especially in the shred world.
G&L.
Gotta love that.
George and Leo.
They're still killing
Right
it.
after CBS. Fantastic stuff. I got to meet George Fullerton
Really?
before he passed. Yeah, and Leo's widow. So, yeah, great stuff. That's still in Fullerton.
Wow.
We played G&L for a while.
You did?
Yes. Right when I got back in the band for a while.
See, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I've seen you, and I think of where you're at now with GMP, right?
Right, for a long time.
And then I think about BC Rich
Of course, yeah. Back when Bernie and Ted Baum ran the company. Yeah.
and Ibanez.
Yes.
You had some sick-ass Ibanezes.
Back when, wow, Chris Kelly was the artist relations guy, and Mike Lippy and Mace Bailey those were the guys I think that did Vi's Gym. I know they did the Hart guitar,
Yeah.
and that was out of the Pro Shop in Hollywood.
Wow.
I don't know where Mace is. Mike passed a while ago. He had Lippy guitars for a while, and then he passed. But great story about Mike on the road. You ready for this?
Yeah.
We're in Japan, in Ibanez, Hoshino. So we're over there, and we're an Ibanez artist. And he's there. We didn't know he was going to be there, right? Mike's this big 6'4" guy, and the Ibanez guys were like, no. And we're like, we want to hang with Mike. He makes our guitars, right? He's a bro. They're like, no. And we're all, yeah. So he hangs out with us, and we're in the hotel bar in Roppongi. And he's this tall dude, and everybody in Japan, they're a little shorter, and he goes to lean up against this pillar that he thought was there, and it wasn't there. And he went down on a table of people, Japanese people, sitting down and drinking sake, and just exploded their table. Everybody ran out of the bar, and we continued to drink.
Oh, that's great.
That's how you clear a bar with the Mike Lippy. The Leaning Tower of Lippy, we called him after that.
That is great.
Yeah.
No kidding. We're going to get some Ibanez stuff in here because you got an Ibanez ad in here.
Oh, wow.
That is one of the best ads I've seen from that period ever, and you'll know why.
Okay.
Bring back some memories for you. Little Ted Nugent love. Listen, political views aside, we don't talk politics on this page.
Hell
nothing
no.
for nothing. This dude is a monster player.
Huge influence on the band. Huge fan of the band. He likes us. Saw Jason Hartless yesterday. They're still doing spotty gigs here and there, and he said Ted said to say hi, and just huge influence. Opened for him at Santa Monica Civic before we had a record deal.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dave Amato was playing with him.
Really?
Who's in REO.
Dude, wow.
Wow. Showing my age or what?
That's pretty impressive, dude. That's no joke, man.
Yeah, but Uncle Ted, man, love him to death.
Well, you know, this is around Damn Yankees time.
Yep.
Which is just like, I mean, I always said I would love to see a Damn Yankees reunion. We were supposed to get one before
fantastic.
2020. It was supposed to happen. Little insider info.
Let's go.
That was going to
guys.
happen.
Tommy, Jack, come on, Ted, let's go.
Uncle Ted.
Michael played drums. Michael Cardellone, wasn't he the drummer?
Was that? I think that's about
so.
right. I'm on now. I'm going to show my age. I
Yeah,
should know
right,
this shit.
Right. Paul Reed Smith. I met Paul when we were using Ibanez. He came to my house with a Paul Reed Smith guitar. He's all, we'd like you to try this out. And I'm with Ibanez, you know, and I could have just taken it and said, all right, thank you very much, good hang. He brought me a plant because I had bought a new house, right? So housewarming gift, guitar. And I'm all, Paul, I can't play this live. I'm with Ibanez. I'm under contract, and it's a beautiful guitar. But it was in the beginning. It was like 90 or 91 for him. And I said, why don't you take this and find an artist that can really, really help you out? Because it's not me because of the Ibanez hookup, right?
Right.
And he thanked me for being honest and went on his way, and it's a story he still tells. He thinks he went to my mother's house, but my mother was probably there at my house.
You're kidding. All right, when you look back at that, do you ever say to yourself, I wonder if I took that Paul Reed Smith?
Right? I do. We've changed a few times just because it happens in the industry. Just fantastic guitars. I mean, they're beautiful.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Very cool. You got the sounding board, which was, I always said this was basically where you can go vent your frustration as a enthusiast towards all these articles every month. It was basically social media before social media.
Right.
So people would send in their hate mail. Look at this guy. Your mag blows the big one. I've read porno mags that have more usable information. I can't believe you lay waste to good trees to write a story on that brain-dead, burnt-out, the moron Lynch. Oh, my Lord. These guys were brutal. But you know what? That's kind of how they are now.
Everybody has a voice online now.
They do. But in this, you had to wait once a month and pray to God that Guitar World published your hate mail.
Yeah, that's
Some guys just got lucky, but I don't agree with that.
Hate's not in my vocabulary, so it's
It's a good way to be. Got a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
Badlands. You were spying on this. He was opening this magazine before he even turned the cameras on. He was lighting up over this.
My buddy Jake. They rehearsed next to us at Mates when it was the original guys. Eric Singer. So that's Jeff Martin, right? Yeah, playing drums. But yeah, I mean, I heard that whole first record being written. And then this one, and we did some dates. We had them on some dates with us. They were managed by the same management. And Jake Jake.
Dude.
You know how hard it is to play after Jake? It's like, no thank you. It's the same thing like when you go on after Reb or anybody like that. You're just like, no thank you, no thank you. Can you play left-handed tonight, please?
Play left-handed. You know I love it. I love it.
Yeah, just a fabulous band, man.
We were talking about this. I said, you know what? I have a collection of vintage guitar magazines that's still growing. If you'd like to contribute to them and donate to a really good home, send us an email at info@mastersofshred.com. But I have a lot of issues with Jake on the front cover. And I said, man, we got to get Jake to do at least one magazine.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun, too. See his perspective on this as well.
I actually, when my first band, which was called Ambition, and don't let me name your bands, we opened up for a band called Enforcer, which had a little guitar player named Warren DeMartini in it. And then the next band was Rat, and Jake was in Rat.
Right.
So I was like 15.
It was called Mickey Rat at that time?
I think it was, I don't remember, but it was a killer gig. I mean,
wow.
The night before we opened up for Enforcer, and I saw Warren for the first time playing through an orange amp with an old Charvel that looked like a coffee table. And I was just blown away. I'm like, I'm not worthy.
He was a young teenager at that time, dude. He was
on
a kid.
fire. It was right before he joined Rat.
Well, they used to call him the Torch, right?
Yeah, Torch. Yeah, that's his nickname. So
there it is.
Yeah, and good friends, Jake and Warren, and good. I'm great friends with Warren, and I've known Jake for a long time, so love them both. But
That's
yeah,
so cool,
killer band.
Uh-oh. Hey everybody, just a quick reminder, if you'd like to show your support for this channel, and we'd love it if you would, make sure to check out our limited edition Masters of Shred merchandise at www.mastersofshred.com. You can snag an awesome shirt like this incredible Shred Class of 89 ADA Throwback Tribute, or plenty of other ones that you will not find anywhere else. So check that out, and while you're there, make sure to check out our incredible limited edition Tone Arts USA Super Halen amp. Only 50 will be available, and they are going quick. Now back to the show. Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, look at that monster.
Something wild with a guitar we don't want to talk about today. Actually, but Guitar Center will sell you this used. They'll actually, if you walked in with it, they say, well, yes, we'll absolutely take it. And when we take our pictures, we're going to turn it around, only show the backside.
Yeah.
But you know what it is, and we'll take your money for it, but we're not going to show you because that's not right.
Things have become a little too touchy.
So, right. And especially this headstock. I have not even noticed that. What's going on there?
He must have had an itch.
That's what it is.
He scratched that itch.
Right. There it is. And he's talking about the new Ozzy album, and he's telling people what they're going to call it, and you know how people are trying to compare them to other people who are trying to sound like. He just said, trust me, it's going to be amazing. He's going to have Zombie Stomp and Party with the Animals. Dude, you know what album that was?
Which one?
No More Tears.
Wow.
He says it's going to be really good. Boy, was it ever.
Michael Wagner, I think, produced that, right? Didn't he? Or mix it?
I think he has something to do with it,
right?
right?
Because he did Dog Eat Dog for us. Zakk, amazing. I mean, Robert knows him really well because Robert's from New York and Zack's Jersey. So I've met Zakk a few times. I'm a big fan. Guy's just smoking.
Dude, he is.
What else can you do?
Right. And
now that you showed me all these guys, I'm going to leave now. I'm not worthy.
No, not at all. You guys have killer songs, killer leads. And we talk, if you guys want to hear about his leads, you got to watch our first video we did together that I'll put up over here. We broke down every solo from every Warrant song, and you'd be surprised because this dude, you shouldn't be surprised, but you really kill it, dude.
Yeah,
so,
it's fun stuff.
We'll get to that, especially on Uncle Tom's Cabin, we'll get to that.
There you go.
Very cool. And guys, I'm not going to go through every little article, so if you see someone here that I failed to mention, you get mad at me, don't hold it against me. We're limited on time.
Yeah.
We want to get to the articles here. They're going to pertain to the guests, right? But you'll see a lot of good stuff. You got some Fishbone in there, Party at Ground Zero.
Yeah, L.A. band.
That's right.
Yeah, good guys.
Very cool stuff to see there. Here's your news, your whammy bars, your updates, your news, and all that kind of good stuff.
Bringing back memories.
Oh, yeah, Bang Tango.
Yes,
talking about it.
Our Bang Tango friends. Fantastic.
Who's that?
Got a bass player in there. Jeez, what a monster.
16-year-old, I think,
Dude,
at that point.
wow.
Eric Gales at 16.
Wow. Yeah,
isn't that nuts?
Just monster after monster.
Right, still killing it today, you know?
Yeah, dude.
So you see this, like, oh, amazing. Now this, okay, that's some Epiphone love. These guys I did not know about, so don't hold it against me. It was the band, this is just the title, Hillbilly Homeboys. It was called Kentucky Headhunters. And
remember
they were
them, yeah.
supposedly tearing it up in Nashville.
Aren't they still around?
They might be. I went back and watched some of their stuff. It was more country-based than I would have paid attention to.
Yeah.
So, but they were very prevalent in this, and
fantastic name for a band.
That it actually is. Yeah, Kentucky Headhunters, and also, you know, be a great name for a website if you need a job.
Yeah.
So it works. And you live in Kentucky, but he also played Hughes Kettner.
Ah, nice.
So we'll get to that. There's an ad of him.
Man.
Again, shout out to Hughes Kettner. Here we go. Zakk knows. Very cool ad. $12.95.
Yeah.
Dare to be wild.
Yep. Look at that.
Man, just the marketing genius behind using that name.
Yeah.
And how much merch you can make with that.
There were fun ads back in the day.
It was.
Fun ads.
Got a little bit more of that article with the Headhunters here.
Yeah.
This I've seen locally, these Charvel Surfcasters from 91.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah, it popped up on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, well, is it made in America? I'm not saying everything has to be made in America, but for the older guitars, that's kind of the pedigree. You want that USA shredder.
Yeah.
You know, but Japanese makes some great
So from 85 to 87, I worked for Jackson Charvel, and I built prototype amps under a tech named Paul Gagan.
No kidding.
Yeah, did you know that?
Prototype amps?
Yeah. Yeah, he would give me a schematic, and I'd get vector board and build them from scratch. I had an engineering degree.
That's right.
And I got a job at I saw in the paper there was this Jackson Electronics in the mall. They ripped off the Jackson logo because I had a Randy Rhoads, the 136th one off the line, And when I went in there and to the interview, it's Jackson. I walked in, I'm all, oh my God. And I told the guy, I'll work here for free. And if that doesn't work, I'll pay you to work here. But I got the gig and worked for Paul for a few years there and did all the prototype. He would engineer a prototype, power amp.
These are Jackson amps.
Yeah, in the very beginning. This is 85.
So they never really saw the light of day. I don't think I've
They
ever
did
seen them.
a little bit, but not that never really came around. But there were all the active electronics that were in there with the pickups that Jackson made at the time. So I was involved in all that. I did a lot of the active installs, and like Adrian Smiths from Maiden, I did one of his guitars. Jeff Beck, I did one of his. Phil Collen, which I'm really good friends with, did a bunch of stuff. And he had one of the amps I built by hand, right? And when his mom passed, it was in her attic. He called me up because he lives by me, and he goes, "Hey, come on over. I've got something for you." And I'm thinking, it's a new coffee machine because we're coffee whores, Phil and I, right? And I go over there, and it's that amp I built for him. And he goes, "I thought you should have the spec." So I still have it. And I'll send you a picture.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you can put it right in here.
Yeah, I had to fabricate everything. It's vector board, it's hardwired. Wow. It's killer.
These amps really never saw the light of day.
They didn't.
So
they were going that way.
Maybe the guitar thing was proving more profitable.
Yeah, well, it was Jackson Charvel. It was after Grover got it from Wayne. So I was a part of that whole San Dimas vibe. That's how I ended up over at BC Rich. And, I worked for Bernie for a few months as his purchasing agent.
No kidding.
Yeah, the whole Southern California guitar scene was, Samick was there, BC Rich was there, Charvel was there, G&L was there, Fender was there. Dude. What else is there?
It's a place to be.
Yeah.
Now I think it's Nashville.
Yeah.
So many builders
A lot
out there.
of killer
now.
luthiers out there, dude.
Grover Jackson just moved out there.
Oh, did he really?
He lives in Pulaski. He probably hates that I tell people that he's out there. He still hasn't taken my calls in a while. But
Grover,
he's like, tell people where I
call
live.
him back, Grover.
Please. We got to have you on the show, too. We're actually going through these with Grover as well. His stories, we actually met him at his plant there, and his stories are phenomenal. Just the insight.
He's got a lot of them. He's a good guy.
Legend. Great. So, coming in here, we got some love here over from Peter Buck of REM.
Yeah, great band.
When I think of that,
Mandolin,
I'm already hearing the intro to, what's that song called? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know.
We're gonna put it right here.
Great player, great band. Not in my record collection. Nothing
There we
personal.
go. Kawaii, Digital Magic. Okay.
Yeah, look at this stuff.
Oh, this is getting nuts. Art was around. They had some crazy
that's old
boards
school.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
look at that's 80s all the way, bro. Even though this is 90.
I know. Facebook Marketplace, it's actually 91, right? Yes.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah. You guys had already released Cherry Pie
Wow,
one
yeah,
year
you're
prior,
right,
but
yeah.
the single came out.
Yeah.
Uncle Todd's Cabin at a later date. More of your favorite guy here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go past that. Let's see here. Very cool Kix. Theodario.
Love him. Ronnie,
Kix, dude.
Ronnie Bryan, love him.
Girl Money.
Yeah.
That was the album Hot
Yeah,
Wire.
yeah.
Right around this time.
Yeah.
Just what a great
And the man that
groove
wrote
band.
all the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donnie Purnell. Huge influence on Warrant. Great guys. When Janie quit the band first, I called Steve Whiteman and I'm like, "Hey man, you know any singers?" And he goes, "Yeah, one." And I said, "Well, that's why I'm calling you. We love you. You interested?" He goes, "Oh man, he's a southern drawl. Oh man," I go, "Yeah, I love my boys. I can't do that." And I go, "Well, good for you guys. We love you." And that was it.
Can you imagine that? What that would have been.
Dude, he was just such a great front man. They retired now, and we miss him. So love Kix.
We saw one of the
Big
last
fan.
shows on the Monsters of Rock cruise,
Yeah,
and it was just
yeah.
like,
Killer.
yeah, they just sound so the groove.
So
the
many
groove.
dudes, so many dudes ripped him off.
Yeah.
I don't want to name names, but you
You can if you want to.
Janie, Brett, Vince. I don't know.
We're not going to name last names. Very, very true. Great article. Here we go.
Oh,
The Life of Brian.
yeah,
Nuno
yeah,
interviewing
yeah.
Brian May.
Yeah.
He goes into detail. He goes, Brian May plays for the song, and that's what he taught Nuno. Play for the song.
Wow. I mean, they're in my rotation. I currently listening to Day at the Races, and just a huge hero. Got
really
to
is.
meet him. Went to the Hot in Space record release party at the Queen Mary. Got to meet him, and then I hung out with Roger Taylor a few times.
No kidding.
Yeah, and we did a cover of a song you probably shouldn't cover, "We Will Rock You," for a movie.
I know that song, yes.
And Brian's like, "Yeah, go for it," and we did it, and we let him hear it first. He's all, "That's fine," And he's very supportive, a great guy. Our our publishing agent was one of their artist relations managers.
No kidding.
Yeah, a guy named Kaz Utsunomiya.
Wow.
So I'm sure Brian knows Kaz, and I mean, what can you say, dude? Look at that guitar, yeah.
Dude, I went back and listened to Death on Two Legs for the first time in a while again.
Oh my god.
That song is just, dude.
Yeah, talk about feeling inside of a song.
Dude, right? There's so much going on to it.
yeah.
It's so well written that it's like, where did this come from when it was released in that period?
Yeah.
That was so, no one was doing that.
Yeah. Fire
Incredible.
the lasers, fire the lasers.
Yeah. Oh, we got a little N4 love
Yes,
here.
yes.
The Washburn had debuted. We actually went to the Washburn plant last year and went to their custom shop, and they walked us through these guitars.
Fantastic.
So we did the history with Nuno.
Yeah.
I don't remember them ever saying N4 in the headstock like that, though.
I remember that.
You do?
Yeah, I do remember that. Nuno's just a monster, right?
Oh, dude, he
His-
really
all
is.
his new stuff's even more monstrous.
He's a beast. The whole percussion and the percussive element of his
Dude, it's
picking
crazy.
two
That's
and
so hard to do.
dude,
you know?
it really
Yeah,
is. You gotta
yeah.
practice.
You got to pick those notes. You know what I
You know what?
mean?
You know what I noticed too? It's hard to do with your guitar high up.
Yeah.
If I play sitting down trying to do that,
Yeah.
no, it's more natural to the length of your arm.
Yeah.
And he plays low as shit.
Yeah.
I think you get more movement on your wrist when you're lower.
Yeah.
And it comes up, and he does it. Dude, it's just
Another
phenomenal.
monster. Yeah.
Really is.
Fantastic.
So you can get his model now. That dropped. It's because also Porno Graffiti had hit.
Right. Right.
This is cool JHS string ad you got here.
Yeah.
But this is blowing me away right here, dude. This is blowing me away. Crate.
Yes.
Look at this crazy cool ad. I had to read this and I had to read it 5 times to get it right. Great crate amps, unbelievably cool sound, made in the US of A, like totally. Our exclusive 5-year transferable warranty. Seriously, special prices. This was a giveaway and they made a crate guitar.
I don't remember
One
the guitars.
of one, dude.
Oh, okay.
And a crate cooler.
Wow.
That looks like a crate amp.
See, that's still 80s. That's still 80s,
Yes.
even though this is 91. Everything's 80s. Colors, 80s. Everything. Dress, 80s.
Where's that guitar today? That's what I want to know. Who
Wow,
has that?
Somebody's got that thing. We used crate for a while.
Really?
We went from carving to crate to rack stuff.
No kidding.
yeah, but
what
we
kind of
used
crate
crate.
you used? Remember?
I don't remember. They're the ones CC DeVille uses on the road. They're like they'll take your head off with gain. They're
Okay.
Such high gain.
That's true. I think I remember a CC DeVille crate ad.
Yeah. He still
yeah.
has a rack full of that stuff to this day. Yeah.
No kidding.
He likes that high gain stuff. Yeah, and he's a great player.
That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
we talked about this already.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah,
He is, dude.
yeah.
But I always want to know where that goes. I would love to buy that off if whoever has it for a reasonable rate. Put it in the shred
Ring
den.
us up.
Yeah. We got a 6-pack cooler. Just very cool
Nice,
ad. I've never
nice,
seen it before.
nice.
George Lynch
Yeah,
loved. I love that.
yeah,
Screaming
yeah.
Demon pickup.
Yeah.
He's been in so many guitar magazines.
Yeah.
Here goes some We Will Rock You
Yeah.
tabs. And we're gonna get.
Nice.
I saw one of these locally
Yeah. Wow.
at
That's
Facebook
old
Marketplace
school.
again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at that stuff, man.
We got the Tube Works.
Yeah.
Got one more here. Here we go. Thrash is taking over, and we got a hell of an
Wow.
interview with these guys.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, Jeff Henneman.
Yeah.
I always know if I said that right. I think it is, Jeff. I did
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
right. So you got Scott Ian, you got Kerry King,
Yeah.
and of course Dave Mustaine. Dave
I
Mustaine.
remember when these two dudes used to wear spandex and and ballet shoes.
I know another band like that. Pantera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who gives a shit?
I always said how did we get from there to jorts,
And chains and blood.
chains, high tops, and tank tops.
That's
I was
fantastic.
it was
Love the
incredible.
heavy stuff.
Yes.
Dave's a monster player. They're all monster players.
Yes, he lives in
man.
Nashville now, I believe, too.
I think so. Yeah. I heard
You know what's
that.
crazy too back then? The sneaker game. The sneaker
Yeah,
game was
right.
hot. All the high top Nikes, everyone's especially in Thrash. That was the
Yeah,
thing.
that's crazy.
Everybody's rocking that. We got some instructional DVDs. I never saw these ones. I seen all of them. Starlicks,
Yeah,
Leviathan.
Starlicks. I got the Randy Rhoads Starlicks when they first came out.
Well, I mean, I have to judge you on that because I don't think Randy Rhoads ever did a Starlicks.
There was one. There was a cassette. Maybe it was a different.
Learning in the style of Randy Rhoads.
Maybe.
It wasn't Randy himself, right?
No, it was not. But it was all his riffs. Because I got it and I learned a lot of them, dude.
Really?
Yes.
Could it have been Kurt Mitchell, or was Kurt Mitchell too late? Remember Kurt Mitchell? He was always
You're
doing
digging
the.
way too back.
I know.
But it was a Randy Rhoads.
No kidding.
Set. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It was
Old
a great.
school.
What a great time to learn.
Oh man, just everything around Southern California. Think about it. I mean, I grew up in Irvine, which was like 40 miles from Randy, 40 miles from Edward.
That was
And I
a
was a
scene.
little short of, I was in 76, I was 12, right? So I chased Van Halen in the clubs with Lars Ulrich from Metallica. We went to the Starwood once because we heard Van Halen was going to be playing. And this is way before Metallica, okay? I was in a band with Lars for about 6 months. We played and jammed.
No kidding.
Yeah, and we went up there and they didn't play, but a band called Smile played. and the guy in Smile was a guy named Tommy Gervin, who ended up playing with Eddie Money.
Wow.
And we toured with Eddie Money, and I watched Tommy play, and I'm like, I know that guy. And he didn't use a whammy, and I'm like, dude, can you show me some of your riffs? Because he was just killer, right? And he played like 13s, and he could bend them like 8s.
Oh, dude.
He was one of those dudes, and he's really a shy guy, and he goes, I'll show you some stuff if you show me how to use a whammy bar. And I'm, get out of here, you know. He's all, no, I don't. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So, great friends. In fact, I took a lot of lessons from him right before Dog Eat Dog. So a lot of those riffs
Really?
Are Tommy and I.
No kidding.
He didn't play, but we wrote them together. Yeah.
No shit. They go back that far.
Yeah, I took lessons, and
Well, you guys, in that album, you guys were able to let yourself really express your true playing, because the first two you had the interception with Mike.
Yeah, Mike Sleemer playing some stuff. When Mike's a wonderful friend and just an awesome player. But yeah, we wanted to get away from that. You know, that was a Bo Hill thing, and so we went with Michael Wagner, did a heavier record, and no side players at all. You know, so. I never stopped taking lessons. Even to this day, I'll go back and learn stuff, you know.
Right.
I'm picking on some Schenker stuff. It's like, it's fucking hard. Excuse my French.
Schenker was doing some crazy stuff in the 70s, dude.
Oh
like,
God.
He's one of those players, legendary. I saw some great articles in here, which Guitar World asked those thrash icons, what distinguishes Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer from other bands of the genre? And Mustaine goes, we're making money.
Oh, that's a little cocky.
Yeah, you know what? Marty Friedman was right. We did an interview with Marty. We'll put it right here. And Marty said, Dave is the king of the soundbite.
Yeah.
He did the best interviews. He'd say the perfect thing. That was,
One thing I remember about Dave is he's the king of the sound bites. Absolutely the king of it.
It's all good.
There's no filter there, folks.
Yeah,
that was
good for
straight
him,
up.
man. Good for him. Good for Megadeth. He wears that badge well.
So it's a great article. Like some Carvin love, which you guys did have Carvin ads. We're going to get to that.
Yep.
So we'll get there. How to play some thrash. Gonna skim by that.
Tab stuff.
Get us some stuff here. Where that's definitely not. I did not just already hit your song there. No, I did not. It's Banger 18. So
yeah, it's killer.
Great one. Little Digitech love.
Yeah. Yep.
All the racks are popular. Oh, we got some Steve Brown here.
Steve
for
Brown.
Come On Strings.
Our dear friend. Yep.
I love that. I would say
Trickster.
Kramer Explorer reverse headstock, and they've never made that.
I remember that guitar. I think he brought that on tour with us. They opened up for us for about half a year.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen those videos.
Fantastic, just old. They're like.
And Firehouse is playing with you guys today.
Yeah, he's like a little brother, so it's. I love him to death.
And he's doing great with his Guitar Fetish Steve Brown sound guitars.
Yeah,
killing it.
Yeah.
And I told Kramer I have a guitar that looks like that with the humbucker and the single slanted Explorer with a really great graphic you guys have seen on it. I called it the Rad Hawk. I said, Kramer, let's bring this back. Invigorate some life into the brand. People want to see this.
Come on now.
Come on. All right, anyway. All right, we're going to go right here. Here's the guy again from the Kentucky Headhunters with his Hughes Kettner Bluesmaster.
That's old school.
This had one tube in it. It had one power tube and one preamp tube.
Yeah.
And apparently it just kicked ass and could nail what you wanted. So you still get those today, I think, in the 3 to 4 range used on reverb.
Right.
So again, shout out to our sponsor, Hughes Kettner. Stay tuned for that giveaway. Instructions at the end of this video. Here we go. Gibson USA M3, the most overlooked, underappreciated Gibson that is starting to climb. I dig this.
Yeah, they're going back for, they did the hockey
reverse.
Stick. Yeah.
Reverse.
And, I mean, they're going for that market where they didn't have it, I mean, Gibson, we know Gibson for the Les Paul, the V's, the Explorer. I had a 76 Destroyer.
Wow.
Yeah, Ibanez. That I refinished. Yeah, Ibanez, which is what they got, one of the ones they got sued for, right?
Yeah.
Killer. But I counted all the wood pieces on it. It had like 11. It was made of 11 pieces of wood. So yeah, it sounded killer. I wanted it because of the Run with the Devil thing that Ed. I think Ed used.
Chris Holmes.
Yeah, he used his, and then he had one and he sawed it up, screwed it up, made that shark guitar.
Yep.
And lost the tone. Oops.
I know. Yep. Yeah, that's why I wanted to see his and go through his. I heard Chris Holmes found the guitar in Ed's room with all the guts out of it. His mom let him in. And said, I need to go get my guitar. It's all in pieces.
You can't have it back.
It was all Frankensteined out, going through trying to rebuild
That's
it.
part of the search for the tone, baby.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah,
He's gone up though, but I love the Steve I config too.
Yeah.
Like, all right, let's hit the Steve I market on that.
Killer.
Here we go. The skids are all right. Slave to the Grind hits. Scotty
Wouldn't that look better if it said like Skinnerd Row, and I was like right back there?
I like that actually.
Skin Row. Yeah.
Skin Row.
Yeah.
Skin Row.
Skin Row.
That's very late 80s.
There we go.
LA Strip right there.
Ah, love these guys.
You got some Fernandez Love days.
Wow, yeah.
They're gone.
Old school.
They left us last year.
They did, yeah.
That's a huge loss to Japanese
R.I.P.
instrument market, folks.
Agreed.
And we're going to Slave to the Grind. We're talking about the album coming out. And I wonder something I would have... I just like the way to describe this Guitar World. They said that there's nothing less than vicious acts of sonic violence on this album, a sinister attack on their unexpected massive teeny bop audience, and a bloody pledge of allegiance to male suburban dirtbag rockers all over the world.
What a great writer.
I want to give that journalist a high five on that.
Yeah, high five.
Nice
high
job.
Five.
Very nice job. I don't know who wrote that, but very nice job.
Great record.
I like this ad too. This is like 4 pages long, folks, and the anticipation will drive you nuts. Bang your ears against the concrete. Okay.
Yeah.
Pull your bottom lip over your top of your head. Now just ignore the rest. We'll get to that. Pull it again. They're doing this over your top of your head. Okay, where are we getting at with this, man? Metal Zone.
Wow.
Boss Metal Zone.
Yeah, that's killer.
Folks, let's not ignore it. They bought
Yeah.
3 pages of ads?
Yeah, that's
This
a
must
lot,
have
yeah.
cost them a pretty penny
Back
to do
in the
that.
day, yeah.
You think it worked?
I don't know. I don't have one of those, so I couldn't tell you.
I think they still make it, and it's only been like, 40 years later?
I like the way my tubes make distortion.
Hughes and Kettner, thanks to our
Most of them.
sponsors.
Yes.
There it
yes.
is. So we talked about this too. A really good point. Guitar World was not on Whitesnake's Slip of the Tongue album. They said the last record is a good example of a weak guitar mix ruining a potentially good album. I mean, turn them up.
Wow, yeah.
And then they were kind of agreeing with it, but they're somehow how good the guitars were.
Michael Wagner did this record too, so he was a guitar. When I did Dog Eat Dog with him, he was all about guitars and tone. We spent like 2 days going through amps and cabinets and guitars, and until we found like a half a dozen good things to combo up, and he's just that guy. So hats off to. I mean, obviously, 80% of it comes from here. But to have a good producer that you get along with that is into that is fun. I know they had fun with Michael. I had a blast with him. Eric and I had a great time.
And Michael was pushing the ADA MP1 MP1 ADA preamp.
I used that a lot through a Macintosh Power Amp on Dog Eat Dog.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. He had an old Macintosh Power Amp. We used that.
Those
I had the number.
Those are expensive.
Yeah, I had the number 4 dual rectifier, number 004. And for me at that time, because I have a 78 50 watt Mark II, that just sounds killer.
Yeah.
And then if you plug in the dual rectifier, it was brand new, and they were trying to dial it in. It was a little high indie for me, so I sold it, and I'm kicking myself in the ass.
That happens.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Damn, though.
Yeah, right?
He was talking about using the Rivera TBR 1M amp for that album, and not the ADA.
Right.
And Jason Beeler from Saigon Kick got him hooked up on that.
Yep. Jason's Florida guy. I don't know if they did where they recorded that. They probably did that in Wisconsin.
No. Slave to the Grind was done in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Really? Okay.
At New River Studios, which was right by that club Squeeze where Marilyn Manson used to, they call it bite his teeth out there. Yeah.
Never hit that studio. We hit Criteria in Miami. Some demos.
Okay, wow.
Back in the day.
Yeah, sadly, that studio, I think that whole area there turned into like an airline travel agent office.
Oh, wow, okay.
But like Michael Jackson went there, Yngwie went there, Guns N' Roses, I think, went in there. It's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Which you sent board Zoom Love. Got the Star guitar, so
Zoom.
We're going to say maybe he might be rocking a Kramer, but I can't tell with the binding. It looks like binding, or maybe it's a shadow.
Yeah,
That's the shadow.
I got to get up on their encore at Irvine Meadows, and he gave me a pink guitar.
He gave you
He
a
didn't give it
pink?
to me. He goes, here, play this. I goes, I plugged it. He goes, no, guy. I go, good, because I'm drunk. And we just walked out and played and had fun. Great guy, amazing player. I think he's over half of Bon Jovi. I think he's so, and no disrespect to John, because we like John, but Richie's just such a talent and such a singing,
He has a great voice, too.
Oh,
it's a
my
very
God.
recognizable voice.
Playing, I mean, forget it. But singing, it's like, how can you sing and play like that? It's like he's like a fucking unicorn. You know what I mean?
It's true.
I mean, it's amazing.
So let me ask you then about that pink guitar. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to throw out a guess. Was this a magenta purple-ish pink Kramer reverse headstock with a peace sign on it?
It might have been that one. I don't know. He had a rack full, and this guy just gave me one.
Yeah,
It
sounds accurate.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, very cool, dude. We got through the metal zone.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Masterclass Love.
Yeah, of course, it's Masterclass.
Eddie. And then he's going to go through a lot of the Foreign Lawful Carnal Knowledge licks from that album.
A monster, yeah.
Dude, he really
Wow.
is. He's so great.
Yeah, I try to every night do a little something for Edward. Yeah, look at that.
all the picks, all
Just
the guitars.
such a fan still. I mean,
And you know what's crazy about this too? I didn't know this because I'm getting new to this game of the used Music Man Ernie Ball accesses.
Yeah.
So we went out to the Amigo Guitar Show. We saw a Trans Amber one of these. Guy wanted $5,000 for it.
wow.
I go, damn, that's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
We go to Guitar Center in Berry Hill. They got one used that came in, Trans, looks exactly the same.
Right.
Trans Amber, $18.99. I go, what's happening here? I
Right.
don't understand this.
Yeah.
Called my buddy, and he told me, oh no, that's because that one was made more recently in 2000s.
Oh.
The ones that are worth the money were the ones made when he was playing them in the early
Okay.
90s.
Okay. Well, it makes sense.
I don't know the difference because I think all Ernie Balls are killer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
they're-
Yeah. Sterling Ball. I've hung out with Sterling. Great guy. Great gear. Just
kidding.
amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
Real good people.
Very cool.
Me, Lukather, Tommy Lee, and Sterling Ball. And Palm
Walk
Springs.
into a bar,
What
go on, finish the
Yeah,
story.
I can't finish it. I don't remember, okay?
Here's another great watch.
I know I woke up on Luke's couch.
Okay.
And I did not have Sharpie all over my face.
That's great. That'll give us a little bit better idea.
Yeah.
This is a cool one. The Equus 2, very expensive to this day. Very hard to find this guitar.
Yeah, wow.
And it'll still cost you a pretty penny for a Washburn acoustic.
Wow, look at that horn. That's a big
Yeah,
horn.
I'm sure it must sound killer.
Are you horny, baby? Look at that.
There it is. That's a sharp one, dude.
Yeah.
Yep. And those Converse. Now, who's wearing those Converse is what I want to know.
That's
who's wearing
going
those?
to be Scotty.
Scotty?
No,
Final answer?
yeah, that's Scotty. Yeah!
How do you know what shoes he wears?
I know Scotty.
Did he used to lend you his
My
sneakers?
brother from another. Love him.
That is great. You knew it.
Yeah.
Got the old school Converse weapons there. Look at that. That's super cool. Yep, that's
Fantastic.
it. Great poster. I didn't even see the other side because I don't think it's that important. I'm sorry.
Oh, look
See
at
how
that
it
thing.
goes?
Yeah,
That's
what's
cool.
that? That's killer.
Yeah.
All right.
Not a guitar I'm dreaming about though.
Yeah, that's all right.
I could do
Four
it
hands
without.
to play that thing.
There it is.
Oh.
Hold on. Who are
Look at
these
those
guys?
sexy guys.
Who are these guys, huh?
Look at that.
Do you remember this?
I do. Yeah, that was in Hollywood somewhere, and Eric and I did that.
Wow.
That's old school. That was right before we went over to Crate.
That is
Carvin
great.
was great to us, and the Crate ad we came out with afterwards was kind of a dig at them, which wasn't cool. It just happened.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't cool. I remember the Carvin guy calling me up going, "Come on, dude." I go, "I didn't write it, bro. I'm sorry." But yeah, they were great to us. We used them on our first tour, and God, we used to have just cabinets galore. I think we had like 44 12s.
That's the way it's
You
supposed
know?
to be.
Yeah, it was great.
You guys brought the
Great
thunder.
company. Another one's that's gone.
Well, no. Well, Carvin's still making amps now called Carvin Audio.
Oh, okay.
They have like the Legacies. They got the V3s.
Okay.
But like you see the X100Bs.
Yeah.
That's what Steve I used too
Wow.
on his album. So
Yeah, well,
you had that going on.
It goes to show you it's not the amp. Because Steve is another monster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool though. So I saw that, and now since we're going through this, you have to approve. We're going through the issue. You got to approve.
All right.
All right. So you got to sign your Hancock there.
All right, no
these,
problem.
These don't get sold. They don't really any of that
Problem,
stuff.
do it
They're
up
just
here where it's
for
black,
the record.
huh?
Where one day they'll be framed in a revitalized shred den, and
I
to
got
commemorate
this
this
new thing,
episode.
so you know it's me.
That's
there
it.
we go. There's the guitar head.
Now you guys know. All right. $100. You guys can have this. Okay? Wait, what's he?
Come on,
Just
$250.
kidding. All right, we got the Select here, which I was never a fan of the EMG
Yeah,
Selects.
yep.
A lot to be desired there, but EMGs are killer when you get the EMGs, not the Selects.
Yep.
SP, I like this stuff here. I'm gonna go a little quicker,
Yeah.
a little faster here. Okay, tomorrow's. Again, guys, if I pass anything,
We're
at
back
least
to
you'll
the
get a
back
good
end, yeah.
old school musician's friend there.
Yeah,
You'd
look
have
at that.
mail in for that
Oh.
catalog, folks.
Love them.
Yes.
That's back when they were
Here
in
he is.
Medford.
Yep, and this is what's his face? They never say his name. Kurt Mitchell,
Oh, wow.
right?
I don't know Kurt Mitchell.
He did all the videos too in the
Okay.
early '90s.
Hi, Kurt.
When he had to do the Nirvana one, he
Oh,
was hating it.
Oh, really?
He goes, listen, I mean, it's not really hard to play.
Yeah. Great
I'll
stuff.
teach you if you really want to know.
Right.
But like, it's kind of pathetic. Like, dude,
Oh,
he was
hello.
so bitter.
It's
It
a
was great.
Song. Yeah.
It's
That's,
funny to watch.
yeah, great band.
Randall's,
Yes.
the king of the carpet amps,
Yes.
the great carpeting amps.
Back in the day, where are they? Does it have their address there anywhere? Where are they?
Do you know who owns Randall today?
No.
Washburn.
Wow.
The company that owns Washburn owns Randall, all in the same umbrella.
Dime Bag, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Randall's Forever and
Now Dimebag came back with his estate, came with the Warhead.
Okay.
They created a new amp company called Warhead.
Okay.
Recreating the Warhead. If you remember the old
Fantastic.
Randall Warheads.
Yeah.
Were not liked by him that much. But they made it better and they're a little smaller, but
Okay.
40 watt solid state. Make a bigger
right,
one soon. Again, we go to ads, a lot of ads. There's a lot of great stuff, learning.
Yeah.
I'm just going to blast through.
Oh, wow. Rock and play.
One of the best ads I've seen. And I've gone through a lot of these, folks. One of the best.
I got to tell you, we fly a lot, so that doesn't sit so well with me anymore.
Would you hate to be sitting next to these people?
No, because they're having a good time. I can guarantee you that. The things you used to be able to do on planes before 9/11 was something like that,
right?
Yeah, there's a few things missing, but
I
that's
was
all
reading
good.
this and I'm like, we got ourselves a makeup palette here. You got the Rock and Play,
Yes,
which was a cassette player.
I still have one. I still have one of these, and then let's see in here. We got our AR director's in here somewhere. There he is, right there, Chris Kelly.
That's your AR. I was trying to say if
he
you
was
could
at
name.
Peavey. He did Satch at Peavey, and I don't know if he did Edward there, but he did Mike Anthony, and yeah.
Really? Now I have to ask you about that. Who's the older lady behind you?
I don't know, but she looks a little pissed off.
Yeah, that's someone's grandma. And she's not having it.
Yeah, she's not having it. She should have let her hair down and had some fun.
Right? Then you got over here. I was like, that has to be somebody because that look is. This guy does look like a corporate guy.
I don't know.
No?
This is my buddy Pete DeMarzo back there. I got him in the ad.
Oh.
He was with me that day. We're like, we need extras. So this plane was sitting in a studio, and it was just like a facade. It wasn't.
And the oxygen tanks came down.
Yeah,
too.
man,
So you guys are actually causing the plane to go down.
We were blowing it up. Yeah, that's why I said it doesn't sit so well with me now because I do about 150 flights a year. So
yeah, they don't want to see this.
I guess if you're going to go down, you might as well go down with your guitar.
Imagine it starts coming up when you go through TSA.
Yeah.
That pops up on the screen.
Yeah.
Is this you?
It's not good. Yeah.
I also see that article there that she has in her lap says, "We're proud to offer you less than the competition."
Oh, wow.
What was that doing there?
I don't know.
That seems like it was strategically
There's
placed.
probably all kinds of stuff hidden in this ad.
Right,
Knowing
kind of
Chris
jab
Kelly,
stuff.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we did some good ads with them. We did some great ads for Dean Markley back in the day as well. So
very cool. You still get these too, by the way, for like $30
wow,
on
I did not
Reverb.
know. Okay, yeah.
Used.
I've
I'm
got
like,
one.
So you could pop a cassette in, your favorite, slow it down, and still play over it.
Right. Yeah.
It had an amp
killer.
in it. That's
Yeah.
actually very cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now you don't have any of those guitars anymore, though.
No, I got rid of all mine through a divorce.
Oh.
I lived off them for a year.
You do what you gotta do.
It happens.
I like that too. We'll get you new guitars. You got these GMPs. They're killer.
I got beautiful GMPs. I'm all good.
Now, what about that one? Do you have the bars and stars? Nobody has those guitars anymore.
He's not Southern either. I don't know where that came from.
All right. We got a little bit more. Go to the albums here.
Yeah.
Performance. I have a
Yeah,
Performance.
I bought my first Floyd from Performance guitar. No fine tuners. $350. I put it on a Charvel. I gave that Charvel to a guy named he started the pro shop at Fender, Mike Eldred.
Okay.
And he's in a blues band now. He's a fantastic player, great friend. So I gave him that guitar because the headstock broke, and I'm like, let's fix this. And he goes, okay. He lived in Bellflower. He moved to Scottsdale, and he lost it in the move. I think he still got it because it's an old original Floyd.
Oh, dude, yeah, those are worth a lot. You know,
Right,
Brad
yeah.
collects those. Brad Gillis.
I know if I had it, I'd give it to Brad.
He told me
I
if you
love
ever
Brad.
find him, let me know.
Yeah,
I'll buy it off you.
I'd give it to Brad just because he's such a bro.
Horse Floyd's.
But he lost it, and he said, anything you want from Fender, give it. And I said, I'll take one of those custom. He gave me a custom guitar for a friend, and I got it. It's great. It was like a $5,000 guitar from the pro shop. Yeah.
Well,
a lot of my friends I worked with at Jackson are at that shop, at that Fender
oh, really?
pro shop. Yeah.
They're still there.
Doing all those relics and all that, yeah.
Dude, they're great finishes now.
Yeah,
They're doing, man.
yeah.
I got lucky on a Performance. I found one in Titusville in Lamborghini Orange with a factory caler
Wow.
they put in.
Wow.
Just like that. It had that headstock.
Yeah, those guys were.
It actually looks just like
you
that
had
guitar.
to go to Hollywood. They were. I think they were off Yucca. Does it say Yucca?
Yeah, still there,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Do you know how much I paid for mine?
How much?
$350.
Wow. See, you're a shopper.
Dirty boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
spending all your money.
I go for those deals.
I'm married with kids. I don't buy guitars anymore.
Yeah, you got guitars given to you. There's a difference.
No, I actually pay for my guitars.
Really?
Yeah.
Learn
Look,
something every day.
GMP is a fantastic company. Dan Lawrence over there does a great job. But it's Dan. I've known him since we worked at Charvel together.
Wow.
So I'm not going to have him pay for my guitars.
That's true. He's an
He
icon,
gives me a
too.
great deal.
But also, when you get that guitar
know.
painted by Darren Lawrence,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
that's an iconic, legendary piece that will be
Yeah.
historic.
Yeah, I've got 2 Vs coming next. They've been there for 2 years. It takes them 2 years to paint. Hi, Dan.
Oh.
Is it done yet?
You sure you paid for these? They weren't giving to you? Sounds like
Probably
I'm giving you a
twice as
deal.
much now.
No, that's very cool, though. Well, I can get some pictures of those, please.
Yes.
Some Groove Tube love.
Yeah, Groove Tube, Aspen. I used to go get my amps worked on there.
No kidding.
Yeah, Aspen and Red. There was a guy there, Red, that did our amps and set the bicing and all that stuff. So,
Wow. Some JB Player stuff.
Yeah.
George Thurgood. I'm going to get a little quicker.
Yeah,
oh, the Hughes Kettner love here.
Yes.
The ATS 30.
Yes,
Very
that's
cool.
old school, yep.
They redid that amp at a later date. You get good deals on these. I believe still used.
Fantastic.
So again, shout out to our sponsor, Hughes and Kettner.
What's up, guys?
And stay tuned so you know how to win these amps, guys, okay?
Yeah.
Here we go. Dan Huff.
Oh, monster.
Beast.
Yeah.
Beast.
Should have been as big as all the other guys, right?
Killer singer, like we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
another-
and
yeah,
Ripper.
yeah,
That dude
yeah.
rips.
Yeah, dude.
Look at that
Crazy.
Schecter headstock in that
Yeah,
logo.
that's wild.
That's wild, huh?
Yeah.
You know, Red Beach told me that he did one of these too. They used to do these like every month or every year.
Wow, okay.
And he said that they never sent him the Rivera amp though, and he was really bummed about it.
Oh, really?
He was supposed to give him all the stuff that they were giving away. He's like, I really wanted that amp.
Never got it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Some bullshit.
it was like, yeah, we'll have it over to you in a couple of days. Never got it.
Yeah.
And then they got Hometown Heroes, which a lot of
Fantastic.
guys did really well. We know Guitar Player magazine,
Oh, there's so
Barney
many
Spotlight.
great players out there. We used to play an arena, then after the arena, we'd go to a local club. And one time we walked into this local club, and this band was playing Down Boys, and it sounded better than we've ever played it. And it was a 4-piece. No. And I'm like, what? So I just bought them drinks all night. You know?
Really?
I'm like, you guys are great.
That's awesome,
You know?
dude. Yeah, I looked up these guys, not many, but if you go to Mike Varney's Spotlight,
He's got
you'll
the polka
see
dot shirt on.
That's
Is
a great
he,
shirt, too.
is he channeling Randy there?
that could be a little bit Randy.
Yeah, yeah.
It goes well. He lives in Nashville too.
Fantastic
He's
player.
going out
Producer,
there, man.
great stuff.
Yeah.
God, all these dudes are just rad.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, look at that guy.
hold on a second here. Well, did we forget something here? I think we did.
Wow.
Because how do we skip the best ad in here, which is the Ibanez, and you don't approve of that?
No.
It's gonna get crazy.
Oh, you want to?
You're doing it again. You got it. It's too cool.
All right.
He saw it. He came and he proved it.
Yeah,
He conquered.
let's do this.
It's just too cool. You got it. I found you
stuff.
3 times in here. I go, well, if you're on the
I
cover,
want to point out
we're
that
getting
I
you all
have a
over it.
flag guitar there in 1991.
That's very true.
Yeah. How you doing?
That's very true.
You've seen a lot since then, haven't you?
Yeah, it is very true. Yeah.
Just want to point that
You don't really see a lot of people with American flags on their stuff.
Just saying.
Stars and bars. Everybody
I
had
played
that. Don't worry
Japan
about
with that thing.
it. Really?
Absolutely.
I think I saw the video where you were on Janie's
Shoulders.
shoulders.
Yeah.
And you were playing that. I posted that before. Yeah.
Fun
I think
stuff.
you think you were playing Mr. Rainmaker.
Yeah. Great tune.
Dude, the lyrics in that song. Genius.
He wrote some fantastic songs,
Genius.
man.
It's
Yeah.
like, dude, ridiculous.
This one coming up's one of them, right?
Well, let's see. That's it. Well, Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Yeah.
That's you. What kind of guitar was that? Do you
That's
remember?
an Ibanez.
That's an Ibanez?
So it says good.
that
And it's
Janie?
me. No, it's me. That's supposed to be me, and that's a piece of pie. And on the piece of pie, at the tip of the pie, is a female anatomy part. Okay, but hold on. I didn't tell him to paint that, right? And it looked like Grandma's female anatomy part. So
Who painted this?
So I ended up painting this black.
Really?
Yeah.
You just went over the whole thing.
I went over. Yeah, it was horrible. I mean, come on.
Who painted this?
Maybe Pedro Cruz. A guy named Pedro Cruz, I think, was working for Ibanez.
You're gonna find out and see what that was all about.
Is Chris Isaac and Warrant? What?
Well, you're gonna have to prove this
Oh,
too.
dude, look at this. You're
I'm
getting
sorry,
it,
man.
This is going to cost you.
I know. Well, we're gonna set up a booth for you at the show. You can sign all these over again. I'm gonna take him out to.
Look at all that hair.
I like that now.
Look at that
He's got a
beautiful
headstock.
Wow, that's great.
Do you see that?
That's
okay.
old school.
That's very cool, dude. Oh, here we go. Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Yeah.
Now, this intro was played by Janie's brother, right?
It was. He wanted his brother to play on a record. So we flew him out from Ohio, Eric, and he gets into the studio. It was at Enterprise, and he's got his acoustic guitar, and he's in the big room where we were doing all the background vocals. The drums were done in the attic. The background vocals, piano, stuff like that, and all the vocals were done in there. And he's playing, and we just push record, and he plays that riff. And then we're like, that's it. And we go, all right, Rick. And he goes, are you ready? We go, no, you're done. You're done. And he goes, I'm not done. I can do it better. And we're like, no, you can't. But we let him. And that's
one.
the intro, yeah. And it's so unique. And he got to be on the record. And what a great riff. You know, right into the song.
Well, does this look accurate to you? Because these tabs.
It looks Chinese. It'd take me an hour to go through this to tell you if it's accurate or not. I can tell you a lot of the recording of that. There was Nashville tuning on that behind the intro.
And the solo was
Mike
and
and
you,
yeah.
and then Mike on the end. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. It was both of us. So great, just a great song.
Groove, dude. When it kicks in,
dude,
it's just
killer.
like the groove, man.
Yeah, the easiest video we ever made. I mean, we were there for like 6 hours, and then they let us go.
Really?
Yeah, it was like
that video was
we're
epic.
done,
That video was epic. That's why I'm laughing. There's no way.
Yeah.
6-hour video.
Yeah.
What a storyteller too, dude. That video was
another
like
one,
killer.
Another one, and he
like
got
a movie.
the idea. He got it out of a TV guide back in the day. When you go into hotel rooms, there'd be a Bible and a TV guide.
Yeah.
Right. So he's got one day off or something, and he goes and he says this movie, Uncle Tom's Cabin, and boom, and he writes a song. There was another one that we recorded called Southern Comfort. I don't know if it's ever seen the light of day. That was a la like that, and then there was another one called Jimmy the Hand that was kind of like Big Talk,
really
along those lines of
great
that's Thin
Big Talk,
Lizzy
too.
type of thing, and then Uncle Tom's Cabin, just a fun song to this day. People yell it out like Freebird, and we play it every night. It's a lot of fun. In fact, we play homage to Eric. The only thing that we do that's tracked at our shows is that beginning. So everything else is 110% live.
Yeah.
As you can see, we got a keyboard set up over there. We got James who plays keys. He's our stage right tech. And so all the keys that are on the record, like Down Boys and I Saw Red and stuff like that, he plays them live.
That's awesome.
And then right before Uncle Tom's Cabin, we play Rick's riff and
that in there.
yeah. Bless him.
Dude, that is so great. Now
Yeah.
this is the last time I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't ask you again. I just
Okay.
don't want to keep having to put myself in this position.
What
But
do
you
we
have to
gotta
sign
do?
this.
Oh man.
Okay, you got to approve of this. This is the last one. You're
All right,
4
yeah,
times.
Yeah, it's all good.
Everybody signs a tab.
Is this the quadfecta, as they call it?
4 times. He was here. He saw the tab. This is what we do on Pages in Time. However, do you know what we did with Zakk?
What?
I said, okay, Zakk, we did the issue. Because usually, if you're on the front cover, right? Sign it. Zakk goes, all right, I say, hey, can you sign the front cover? We did it. You're here. Approval. He goes, great cover. Awesome, man. So good. We're good.
He didn't do it.
I'm not even going to push that. I get it. It's good.
I saw the beginning of that.
Love you, Zakk. I wish I could have gotten to
man,
sign it,
I
though.
love the guy, too. I saw the beginning of that in the cover, and he was another sexy man. Look at all these sexy guys you got.
Dude, the outfits are killer.
There was a guy
too.
in L.A., Bill Gazzari. He owned Gazzaris.
Okay,
You heard
yeah,
Gazzaris?
of course.
So his
That's where Van Halen used to play.
yeah. And his moniker was, if they ain't sexy guys, then they don't get on my stage. So all these guys are sexy guys. I bet you they all played Gazzaris. I bet you. Even
Probably
if they
more
didn't,
likely.
they could have got right in there.
That is great. Go through some more of the tabs. We're getting our way out of here. Okay, now we're going to get a little quick
Ads galore.
trekker.
That's
First,
old school.
Floyd Rose license, but this is the thing, dude. Their necks were no tension necks.
Wow.
They were
How'd they do
floating
that?
necks. Crazy. I looked them up. If you find them, you can find them score them for like $300 and they're made in
Wow.
America.
Okay.
Made in America. But there's none
Fantastic.
right now at the moment. This is great. Reb was talking about this. You can stop sweat in 6 weeks. You put your feet on it, your hands, and
Oh,
your
wow.
underarms.
Wow.
That was very important for guitar players back then.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of sweaty players?
I don't.
I don't know why that's here.
I don't.
Here's the scary part. They paid for multiple ads and multiple issues.
Wow. If my shit gets messed up, I use a towel and clean it off.
Apparently, you just put this brick under your arm and hold it there
You
for a
could
while.
have some of those backstage. You could go stand on them, or you could put them on your pedal board, right? Take your shoes off.
Yeah, something.
So you don't slip on
You
your
gotta get a
wall.
second use out of that thing,
Don't slip
dude.
on your Morley, right?
There it is, right? Morley, big shout out to Morley.
Big shout
Fellow
out to
Morley
my
guy.
folks. Yes.
That's right. ADA loving the
Yes,
bass amps.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
The back page. Oh,
Valve State
yeah,
Marshall.
yeah.
Gotta love that. They were kicking off the Valve State.
Yeah.
And folks, that is the August
That's it.
1991 issue of Guitar World magazine with Joey Allen of Warrant. Now, what can we expect for 2025 for you?
Wow, we are touring. We're looking at old demos that we pulled out, old videos. So there's a possibility of compiling some of that into a package and maybe a box set. I don't know. There's all kinds of things we're talking about. All the work has to be done. Right now, our bass player, Jerry, he's kind of on a sabbatical. He comes in and does gigs here and there. We've got Robbie Crane out with us from Black Star Riders and Rat, and he's fantastic.
Very cool.
So Jerry's back home cataloging all that stuff.
Wow.
And we're looking into something like that. There's always a possibility of new music one more time. You know, I don't know. It's 2017 is the last time we did anything with Louder, Harder, Faster with Robert.
Right.
So we'll kick it around, you know, but there's no rush. You know, we're having a great time. Tour's going fantastic. Everybody's healthy, happy. Easy stuff, man.
And you can follow Joey on social media. Don't forget to do that.
Yeah, I'm not on it. I'm unsocial.
Well, you're on social. You're on Instagram.
Yeah, but I'm on social.
He's not on there,
on
right?
social media.
Follow the band Warrant.
Yes.
On social media.
WarrantRocks.com. We've got an Instagram. We've got all that stuff. Follow us out there. Somebody else handles all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's all out there, yeah. So if we do anything new, it'll probably come through Instagram first.
There it is.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow us. But now, since you stay tuned this entire episode, which we appreciate it, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, because now we're going to tell you how you can win 3 Hughes Kettner amplifiers. That's right. We're going into the spirit of rock, the spirit of metal, and the spirit of vintage. Folks, that's right. We are going to give away 3 amps, and here's how you're going to be able to win this, okay? Do us a favor, shred the subscribe button for Masters of Shred and Hughes Kettner.
Button right there.
Do that, subscribe to both, and drop a comment, any comment, down in the comment section below. We're going to go through, tally up everybody in a week, and we're going to pull out 3 lucky winners to get one of these amps free of charge. Just remember, drop a comment, subscribe to both channels, Hughes Kettner and Masters of Shred, and you may be able to win one of these awesome amps. And I'm really stoked because I got one of these small amps and they sound badass. So big shout out again, shred out to Hughes Kettner. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you want to support this channel. And if you want to open your pocket to do it, check out our awesome merch we got here. A little bit of Steel Dragon love. Made this one myself. Had to do it. Took me a while. And also check out the awesome Super Halen amp, limited to just 50 for all you Van Halen fanatics like myself that need something that lights your shred den on fire. So do that. Follow the page. Thank you guys again for watching. And Vito Brada, if you are out there, you're on our radar, we would love to have you on the show.
Wow, Vito. Come back, Vito.
Please. I don't know how to get a hold of you. Everybody wants to see you here. I want to see you here. The world wants to see you on Pages in Time. You owe it to all your fans. Please, for us, for the shredders out there, reach out to us. We want you on the show. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.
Be good.